Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today for hashtag Art Journal Bonus Prompt 2526, hosted by Lori June as Sarcastically 60 and Beyond. And I am doing the prompt for pockets, and this is the pocket that I came up with. And it has 8 pockets in it in total. And here's a little teeny tiny pocket. And it says, Polly wants a lot of pockets, deep pockets. And then we have a quote by Christian Dior. He said this in 1954, men have pockets for storage, women for decoration. Oh, Christian. I disagree. And then we have Giddy Whomper Happenstance with her sister Hildy and their really good friend Frida Birdsong. I made them using my left hand. And I stuffed in like a little birthday greeting that a friend gave me, a dear friend. My birthday's this month. And a vintage Valentine card. Very beautiful. So if I take this apart, you can see the different layers, and Gideon and Hildy were at a protest, and Hildy held this sign up, deep pockets for war, and Giddy Whomper, tiny pockets for the pores. So you can see the different layers. Oh, that's not going to work. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lots of pockets. I love pockets. So now I will get to my narrative. It's called Politics, Patriarchy, and Pockets. This is a very brief overview. You'd be amazed at how much information there is about this. All right. Throughout history, the absence of women's pockets has been tied to a patriarchal ideology in the form of societal control. This was done in order to make women subordinate or dependent on their male counterparts. The first sewn-in pocket was recorded in 1540. Before that, men and women used pouches. Men tied theirs to their belts, and women tied theirs to a cloth that was tied to their waist under layers and layers of clothing. The only way to access the contents was to undress. This continued for centuries. Meanwhile, men were enjoying a virtual heyday as they moved from pouches to pockets. In the 1880s came the Victorian era, and a new way of dressing. Women's dresses were streamlined in an extremely tight figure-hugging way. This slim silhouette was not conducive for pockets or pouches, although occasionally a small pocket would be sewn into a seam with enough space for a handkerchief. Women started carrying a reticule, a ridiculously small purse, so small it could barely hold a coin or carrying cards or smelling salts. And it was also something that only those with a modicum of wealth could afford. So, of course, if you were poor, you would continue to use pouches. The prevailing thinking was that because men were the only ones to own property or have money, women had no use or right to carry anything. In fact, anything they carried, if like a pickpocket took something of theirs, it wasn't really theirs. Everything they had belonged to their husband. Once more, keeping them subordinate and dependent. In fact, women were treated as slaves with no rights to education, no right to vote, and no ownership of property. Then came the suffragist movement. Women were fighting for the right to vote, racial equality, and more, including, strangely enough, the right to pockets. Pockets as viewed, bless you, Mary Zebby. Pockets were viewed as a symbol of autonomy, freedom, and change. They even designed a 6-pocket rage suit. During World War I and II, women entered the workforce, which led the way to practical fashion, including pants with functional pockets. Unfortunately, once World War II ended, the new stream-fitting look, which he started, all but eliminated functional pockets. My fascination with pockets began in the late 60s and early 70s when I started helping out in my parents' dry cleaners. It didn't take long to see that men not only had more pockets, they had deeper pockets and functional pockets. A man's two-piece suit would have 8 to 9 pockets. A woman's two-piece suit had no pockets, fake pockets, or extremely small pockets. Fast forward to today, and women are still being short-pocketed. Not long ago, someone compared women's pockets in slim jeans to men's and found women's pockets were 46% smaller. Designers and manufacturers aren't listening, maybe because there's a $47 billion a year purse industry. Who knows why? But you'd think after 486 years, we could at least have functional pockets in our clothing. And so that is my narrative. Now, I did make a couple of other pockets, just for fun, out of toilet paper rolls. And I'm not completely done with them. I need to get some wire to fasten them. But I'll have a link if you're interested. But they open up, and they're fun to make. I don't know how many more I'll make. I think they're kind of funny. But I'll leave a link. I think that was Crafty Christy, some YouTube channel that had these. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.